What is going on, everybody? It's your boy Hobo here today, and Wildcard Weekend is finally upon us. Before we get into this weekend's predictions, I'm going to let everybody know the 1 and 2 seeds for both conferences, aka those who have clinched their divisions and have a first round bye in the playoffs. First, we have the Dallas Cowboys, the number 1 seed of the NFC. The number 2 seed in the NFC, the Atlanta Falcons. Both teams get a bye. In the AFC, the New England Patriots are the number 1 seed, and the Kansas City Chiefs are the number 2 seed. Both get a bye. So, let's go to Saturday, where we kick things off. 4:35 p.m. Eastern Time. Oakland Raiders, Houston Texans. Gonna be a fun game. Connor Cook making his first start ever in a playoff game, which is the first time that's ever happened in the Super Bowl era, which is 51 years. Brock Osweiler has never played in a playoff game, I do not believe. Yeah, he hasn't. He clearly is not the quarterback he was, though, when he played for Denver. He got benched for Tom Savage, but he came back, obviously, and that's why he's playing in this game. But Connor Cook, obviously, has dealt a lot. Both of his quarterbacks go out. Derek Carr, gone. Matt McGloin, out, or at least benched. But yeah, it's a lot on Connor Cook's plate, and he's going to really have to step up. A lot of people compliment him for his arm strength, but that doesn't mean anything. Your arm strength just means you can throw the ball. Can you throw it accurately? Can you read a defense? Can you make sure that if a safety blitzes, that you can pick it up, maybe scramble out of the pocket and make a play? A lot of these things we really don't know, and it's hard, okay? It's really hard to throw a rookie into a playoff game. It's really hard, especially when they don't get the reps that a second-team player gets. Connor Cook played for the third team in practice, and he's gotten none of the reps that the first and second quarterbacks have. So that's a really tough situation the Raiders find themselves in. But their defense could pluck them out of a hole on offense. The same could be said for the Houston Texans. Their defense could easily pluck them out of any hole that they find themselves in offensively. But the Houston Texans have a sort of continuity in offense that I trust more than any continuity that could be seen on the Oakland Raiders. It's a tough game to pick. It really is. The Texans and the Raiders have really good defenses, and it's going to be a defensive battle whether you think so or not, because you got Connor Cook in there, obviously, and you got Brock Osweiler, who's been up and down. He's had his moments, and he's also had his disappointments this season. So my pick for this game is going to have to be, I'm going to take the Houston Texans here. I have to, and it's a tough thing to pick. It's a tough game to pick, but it's the team that I trust most. It's the team that I think that can get the job done. So I'm taking the Texans in this game. Then next on Saturday, 8:15 p.m. Eastern Time, Detroit at Seattle. This is going to be a really fun one. It's going to be a close game. And I know a lot of people don't think it could be because of Detroit's defense not being on the level that Seattle's defense is. But it's still a good defense. Let's not take anything away from the people who play defense for the Detroit Lions. They have a lot of depth. They can pull people up that you've never heard of, and they can make plays, which is phenomenal. Any team would love to have that. The Seahawks, though, they have just a prolific offense and a stout defense that people don't want to go against. It's a good matchup here. But Matthew Stafford is a really good fourth quarter quarterback, and Russell Wilson is a really good all-quarter quarterback. So, I'm going to say this. If the Lions find themselves down by 10 or fewer in the fourth quarter, this game can easily go to the Detroit Lions. Easily. Just because of the play of Matthew Stafford. However, I'm going to take the Seattle Seahawks on the pure fact that they just have the more complete all-around team. And they have the home field advantage. They're playing in front of the 12th man. It's going to be extremely tough for Detroit to go in there and win. The crowd noise is going to get so loud. I don't know if there's any way to practice crowd noise But if there is, you know they've done it. But nothing comes close to the real deal. So I'm taking the Seattle Seahawks in a close one over the Detroit Lions. Sunday kicks off 1:05 p.m. Miami Dolphins at Pittsburgh Steelers. I'm just going to go off by saying this. You guys are going to be really surprised by the end of this prediction. Because of these simple facts. Miami has beaten the Pittsburgh Steelers this season, and they beat them in a rout. The final score was 30-15. After that game, Miami went on to win 9 of their last 11. And the Pittsburgh Steelers, they kind of faltered, but they came back a little bit. So obviously they're not a strong, confident team. Sure, they're confident because, they went in, they beat the Ravens, they screwed me out of my fantasy championship, yada, yada, yada. Who cares? Baloney. The Pittsburgh Steelers are a good team. They're a prolific offense. Their defense, I still believe, is average at best. When they play their best, they're an average defense. Matt Moore is the best backup that these Dolphins could even find. They got really with having Matt Moore on roster. What he did to the Jets was phenomenal. I really believe that Matt Moore could potentially even be better than Ryan Tannehill at maybe the basic fundamentals of football, which that is a key if you're a quarterback in the NFL, just being able to recognize complex defenses and being able to pick out where your receiver is going to be in a zone coverage or in a man coverage, and maybe the more advanced blitzes that come at you. You can pick them apart. Matt Moore is a good quarterback to do that. However, Ben Roethlisberger is a great quarterback to do that. But the Miami defense is a good defense, but better than the Steelers defense. And here's my prediction. I'm going to take the Miami Dolphins over the Pittsburgh Steelers for the sole fact that I believe that what can be done will be done. The Miami Dolphins have already beaten the Steelers. Now it's just a matter of doing it again. Being able to get Jay Ajayi to run all over the defense, to put on a masterpiece, run for 150 yards. You don't need to go for 200 like he did against the Steelers the first time. But if there's any team that can do it right now, it's the Miami Dolphins. And I believe they're going to go out and beat the Steelers in a great game. And then on Sunday, 4:40 p.m., another great game. Who would have thought? Wild card weekend full of great games. The New York Giants at the Green Bay Packers. Obviously, I have vested interest as a lifelong Giants fan. I lived through our 2 most recent Super Bowl runs, which were phenomenal. I love the team. I really do. I love them with all my heart. And I know you might be thinking, is he going to pick the Packers? No, I'm not going to pick the Packers. Don't worry, I'm not picking the Green Bay Packers. If you want to know my thoughts on the Giants and the Packers, go back and listen to my Week 5 predictions where I predicted that game. Clearly, I got that prediction wrong because we lost 23-16. But, however, it was a close game. And now our defense is playing better than ever. But their offense is playing better than ever. It's going to be a cataclysm of the immovable object and the irresistible force. I said that backwards. It's the irresistible force meeting the immovable object in the Packers offense and the Giants defense. It's going to be the best game of Wild Card weekend, regardless of the outcome. I, as a Giants fan, am extremely proud that we've been able to go this far. We signed all the big free agents. We could have done what many other teams have done who signed big free agents. We could have faltered. We could have had lackluster play from our free agents. But every man on our team wants to win a 5th championship. They want to do it for Eli. They want to do it for Steve Tisch and John Mara. They want to do it for the Giants organization. They want to do it for themselves. And they want to do it for the fans. And this is going to be a statement game. If we come out and we beat the Green Bay Packers, which I think we're going to do, we are going to showcase ourselves as A, the best defense in football, and B, a team that should not be overlooked. We have been overlooked all season, quite frankly, and we're a great team. The only time you hear about the Giants is when we're partying on boats or Odell's marrying a kicking net. We don't get the mainstream recognition, even though we're in the New York market, that a lot of teams get. And I couldn't tell you why. But what I can tell you is the New York Giants are going to beat the injury-riddled Green Bay Packers in the wild card round. And I'm not going to predict anything further for the New York Giants because I'm not jinxing anything. So, yeah, that's a wild card weekend. 4 great games coming up. And it's going to be really fun to watch each and every one of them on Saturday and Sunday. And I hope that you guys all do as well. I want to wrap this up by saying something really fun or really cool, but I can't think of it that ties into a football manner or what have you. I can't think of it, whatever. So, yeah, I'm just excited. I'm really excited for all these games. I'm excited to finally see my Giants back in the playoffs, playing at Lambeau Field. Oh, and an interesting little stat while we wrap up here. Eli Manning is 4-0 against Super Bowl winning quarterbacks in the playoffs. Twice against Tom Brady, once against Brett Favre, and once against Aaron Rodgers. There you have it. That's going to do it for me, your boy Hobo. And I will see you guys next week when we run down the divisional playoffs. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you later.